Hello, hello. Sorry, y'all. I was having technical difficulties. I hope that everyone is doing well. Let's see. I hope I'm not going to have them again. Let's see here. Maybe not. Maybe not. I'm not a fan of. Let me see. Hey, hey, hey. I'm just trying to get myself together here. I'm having some issues with this stuff here lately. It's user error though. It's not YouTube. It's user error. There we go. I think that's better. So, hi. I hope everybody's doing well. Forgive me. I'm in my room. Um, I was laying down for a minute because I'm a little swollen after being in the garden today. But I was like, let me set up a bit and talk to the people. I hope everybody is doing well, and I hope I can get some people on here so we can chit chat and check in and see how everybody's doing. I don't know about y'all, but this weather is like ridiculously um just everywhere, up and down. I don't know about it. How's the weather where y'all are? We're supposed to be in the 30s again at night next week. And so that's a little discouraging. Or not discouraging, but you have all these beautiful days with um you know, nighttime temperatures in the mid to high 40s and 50s, back down to 30-degree weather. These poor plants. But I hope everybody's doing well. I just posted in the community uh um what's it called on here? Newsfeed, maybe the community newsfeed tab on the channel, a picture of my fruit tree that bloomed. And so it's been inside of the shed a few days, not in a row, but just a few times since April started, because of a frost. So I knew when I got those blooms, I didn't want them to fall off or whatever. So I stuck them in the shed, covered them up again with a blanket. I think I had a blanket. But I noticed there's these little buds, and this is my first time growing peaches. And so I'm wondering if those are peaches, and if, like, how can you tell if they are pollinated? So if y'all don't mind going to the community tab on the channel and just giving me some feedback, that'd be great. All of the fruit tree lovers, experts, coaches, I need your help trying to understand this fruit tree. And of course I'm going to do some research, but this tree is like back from the dead because apparently it was on clearance at Lowe's last year, and they thought it was pretty much dead, but they went ahead and sold it to me for like, or they sold it to me for like $7. And I knew it wasn't dead because I scratched the bark and there was still green, right? It just didn't look that hot. It had what is it called, that a fire blight. And so it just looked a hot mess. And that's another thing I need to do, is spray these trees, right, with the copper fungicide that is supposed to help with the fire blight and things like that. Uh all the trees, I think you're supposed to do it before the trees actually do bloom, but I don't think it'll hurt much if you do it, you know, after they bloom. But that's on my to-do list to do. Yep. So if y'all can give me some feedback, that'd be great, because I'm new to fruit trees, period. This is my second year. Let me see. Wait a minute. This is my Yeah, I think this is my second year with fruit trees. I have a few fig trees. I have a couple of apple trees. I have a peach tree now. I have some pawpaws, which are native to Kentucky. I have American persimmons. And I have like raspberry bushes, blackberry bushes. Um, so I'm growing, the berries and fruit tree orchard here. I'm excited to call it that. My little mini homestead orchard. Everything is pretty much in containers. There's one tree that's in the ground. I have a young Honeycrisp apple tree that's in the ground, but the other one is in a big 17-gallon tote, and the rest of them are in pots and buckets. And so I'm excited about expanding that this year. I purchased some fruit trees from Stark Brothers for the first time ever. So if you haven't checked that video out, go ahead and check it out and see what I get. But I'm excited overall about the season, y'all. It's crazy, like fastly approaching. And so I'm ready though. Like I'm ready. And I just want to give a shout out to all of my supporters here on the channel, and all of the supporters and volunteers here in my community, because y'all, when I tell you, I don't know if I would have been able to get the season started with and make as much progress as I have if it wasn't for the volunteers. And really, y'all, somebody had emailed me and asked me, Letitia, when you start your farm, or if I start this community garden, how can I get volunteers? And I said, just open your mouth and ask. Just ask. Use your social media platforms. If you're not on social media, that's okay, but it really does help kind of spread the word faster, and that you need something. And so I used to be really hesitant about asking for anything, but especially things that I feel like are a big ask, but I just can't be fearful of that anymore. Sometimes I still have little butterflies in my stomach about it, but I just ask. I mean, the worst they can do is say no, right? And I've been told no a lot in my life, so that's okay. So to get volunteers, just ask for help, whatever it is that you need. So I'm very grateful that the volunteer community here, just people in the community, my neighbors, have, and everybody can't be here every day or every other day. It's not really like there's a schedule for volunteers, but I just put the dates out there. Or if people want to volunteer when they get ready, they can email me, call, text, inbox me on Facebook, Messenger, and just say, hey, Letitia, do you need some help? I'm available Wednesday at 6 o'clock. It doesn't get dark till a little past 8 here now. So that's cool. And if they can stay 30 minutes, they can stay an hour, I can put them to work. And so I'm just so grateful for the support that I have in our community. And I've had guys volunteer. There's been some guys, and I appreciate that muscle, because sometimes I have some I can't lift it. I can't lift stuff, so that heavy, so like hay bales and things like that. But honey, the girls have been rocking it out, honey. We don't have to have these men, right? We can rock it out on our own. So I'm just very grateful, y'all, for the people that have just come out and supported. And I aim for the farm to be a teaching farm as well. And so there's a mix of mostly beginner gardeners or people that haven't gardened at all, and very few people that actually have experience growing. And but it's always a treat to hear that even though they may be an avid learner or grower, that they still learn something while they're here. So things are good, and I feel like I'm just in a good place. Of course, all the outside infrastructure that I have, like the greenhouse and stuff, it's unheated. So next year, I'm going to try really, really hard to figure out by sometime in the fall, how to make that happen, how to heat it. I have no electrical outlets on the outside of my home. So other than solar, I really don't know what to do about that, like how to get heat in the greenhouse. So if y'all have any suggestions on what I could do to heat the greenhouse when I have no electrical outlets on the outside of my home, and other than solar powered stuff, let me know. I'm so open to that as well. Hey, Miss Angela, what's up? Thank you. Oh my gosh. Listen, I know prayer changes things, honey. Prayer changes things. Um, and I know he's been hearing me, and sometimes I don't even pray about it. You know how we do. But he just knows what we need when we need it, and he be sending people left and right here lately. So I'm so, so grateful. Um, gosh, y'all, I'm just blown away. This time of the year, you won't need to heat the greenhouse, right? But for winter, you might need it, so you have time. Yes, and when I start to plant things next year, I'm gonna think. I think I'm gonna start in February again. March kind of made me really. I started most of everything in March, instead of February. Um, but I feel like I'm so far behind. I'm gonna see how it works out. The season's not over. This spring ain't over yet. Let me just see how it works out when it's time to open the nursery, which I'll be doing soon. Hopefully, the end of the month, 1st of May. People can start to buy plants from my nursery. So, but I just feel like I'm so late this year. And I kind of am, like, because I'm used to starting stuff in February. So February here, the temperature's still up and down, fluctuating, but I would love to be able to have a heated green space, to start those tomatoes and peppers and things early. And I'll probably still wait on, you know, um melons and squashes and stuff because they grow so fast. Beans till March or late March or April, early April. But I really, my sweet potatoes, I don't think I'm gonna have sweet potato plants this year. This year's been a little odd. So I don't know. Hey Diva, what's going on? Hey, you will probably have better plants started if you start to plant in February. Yeah, yeah. And the plants are looking great. I just want them to be a little bit bigger. Yeah, have a little bit more age on them. And I remember last year when I was growing the Sun Gold tomatoes and black cherry tomatoes, I started those in February and I was harvesting in June, or yeah, some in June, some in July. So, and usually, everybody starts to harvest in August. So I felt really great about that. And it was really cool to have an early crop like that, when most people are still waiting. So yeah, I just kind of want that option to be able to space things out, but use the outside space a little bit more, than in my house, because I really do hate the hardening off process. I know it just has to be done, but like if I can cut that off a little bit, that'd be great. Um, so yeah. Um, So I hopped on just to say thank you to everyone, that continues to give me support. People are emailing me at the wazoo right now, like just asking random questions about the business, about starting an LLC, about the nursery, um, just growing food in particular. And so I'm so grateful to just be on your mind and that you feel comfortable to reach out. So please continue to do so. And then um, my volunteers here locally in my community have been the bomb. Um, .com. I mean, when I tell you these people are working and they come to work, right? They're like, let's do it. What do we have to do? And I just love it. I love all the support. And I'm so grateful. And then we're talking about these fruit trees, and Diva, I know you have a lot of fruit trees. So I posted a picture again on the community tab of this channel, of the peach tree that I bought from Lowe's for $7 last year, and it was kind of beat up, but now it looks great. And so I was wondering if I'm actually I got to do some research. I'm still learning about fruit trees and things, but I don't know if I'm going to get those peaches this year or not. It looks like there are buds and little peaches on there. They bloomed. The blooms kind of fell off. I did protect them through the 2 or 3 nights we had frost here lately. I put the tree in the shed, and I also covered it up with a blanket. So I know the buds. I don't know if they're pollinated or if they've been pollinated or had a chance to be I don't know. So anyway, if y'all can take a look at that picture and tell me what you think, that'd be great. How many people do you have helping you out? It depends on the day. Here lately, I've had like almost every Wednesday and Saturday. I've had at least 4 people. The most I've ever had is 10 people on a volunteer day. And that's good enough because, people, we don't mean to, but we still try to. Social distancing is very, very possible. But when we're all working together, it's easy to get up on each other. So I feel like 10 people is more than enough to have. And I don't go around policing. Everybody does have their mask on. And I try to still keep my distance. But when you have that many people and people are looking for direction, like, Letitia, what do I do with this? Or what should I do? Should I plant that deep? They start coming up on you. And so 10 people is good enough for me. So I feel comfortable enough. I'm not comfortable. I'm really anxious when there's that many people, but it's doable. Like, I feel like it's manageable and I don't freak out as much. So I don't need more than 10 people at a time. But just onesies and two, like last week, I think Tuesday I had 1, Wednesday I had 2, then Thursday I didn't have any, Friday 1, and then Saturday I had 3. So it just depends. But some weeks I don't have any until Wednesday, and then not again Saturday. So it just depends. But every time they pop up, we got work to do. We got stuff to do. So hey, Purpose Gardens. Hey, Bibby. So yeah. Yep. And I think the day I had the 7 cubic yards of soil, I think I had, let's see, like 6 that day. So that was good. Yeah, it's really good. Thank you. Like, and people do say that it's hard to like, you want positive feedback, right? But but people really do just love the idea of Bear Fruit and Grow. They love the idea of just encouraging people to grow. And I mean, there was somebody here today that is used to growing, and she was like, I have a small space, but I do grow food. And I was like, cool, that is so dope. And I was like, what does your garden look like? How big is it? And she's like, oh, I got 2 raised beds about this size, and then I have a few containers. I'm like, that's perfect. But then, like, I had a new gardener. We were just talking, and I said, who got the collard seeds? Because we were seeding. And I said, this flat right here, everything died except these little plants right here. She said, you know what? That blows me away that you are an expert, but you still kill plants. And I said, yes, girl. I said, we have casualties all the time. I commit murder all the time. I don't mean to, but it just happens, She was like, that is so reassuring. Like, I feel like I don't have to carry that around anymore because you still kill stuff. I said, that's right. Like, it happens. It just happens. So they reseeded that flat for me, and, we moved on in our conversation. But I love that people feel that energy. It's like, gosh, just do it. And if something happens that we don't like or that we get sad about, like killing plants, that's okay. Just seed it again. It's okay. Start over. And then, people ask, why did I call my business Bear Fruit and Grow? And so I get an opportunity to kind of explain that, and people are connecting to that. So it's just, letting people know you real, right? You're a real person trying to do something that's meaningful in your life. You are passionate about it. Let people see your passion. They will make up their mind about you, right? I just really believe that. Like, you don't have to be fake. You don't have to come up with all, your garden doesn't have to be perfectly manicured. You don't have to be like, know everything and give an answer to everything. Just let people know that you are a real person, and you don't have all the answers sometimes. And I feel like people, can just, yeah, make up their mind about you. You had a few casualties. Yeah. Purpose gardens, yes. I have casualties all the time. So it's okay. It's okay though. So we reseed. If we run out of the seed, go buy more seed, or just go buy a plant and call it a day. Move on with your life. You know? It's okay. Yeah. Yeah. It's all right. Many of my seedlings have not germinated after 2 weeks, so starting again. Plus, almost time to start butternut squash and melons. Yes, ma'am. I have some marigolds are not. They not coming up, and I don't know why. Um, and I've reseeded twice. My marigolds, that's one of the crops that I'm having problems with. I don't know what is going on. I still have a few of Diva's melons. Yeah. Yeah, okay. That's what's up. But I saw today we sowed butternut squash, we sowed zucchini, beans, some of our beans we sowed, and so I'll sow more beans next week, you know. Okay, your marigolds haven't come up. Maybe it's something going on in the universe. I don't know, but the marigolds are not coming up for me. I don't, and I sold probably 4 trays of those, 4 10 by 20 flats, and none. None of them, not one sprout. So I don't know. I have seeds that I harvested. I have seeds that people have given me. I have seeds like from the store. None of them have come up. So I don't know what's going on. Several people have said that they have not had marigolds germinate. What is going on? I don't know. And in the past, I've had them germinate. So I don't, this year, it's just not happening. I don't know. Maybe it's a sign. I don't know. Marigolds are coming up slow for everyone. Even Big Bo's stores are low. Okay. I really don't know. So we sold, all those things today. I sowed another round of okra. My okra is starting to sprout from a week or two ago. And then we sold a lot of flower seeds today. All the flowers, or most of the flowers that I sell in the nursery, edible as well. And people just got a kick out of that today. They were like, "What?" I said, "Yeah, yeah, edible flowers." So they're excited about learning those things. Big box. I understood what you were saying. Purpose Garden. So we got some bachelor buttons. We got zinnias. We got black ass Susans. We got sunflower. And then I sowed some like alyssum. There's other things that they sowed today too. A lot of flowers we sowed today. Yeah, I did. Yep, I sowed okra. I'm trying to see about, because I remember last season, I think I did so in May, and they came up pretty decent. Like in 2 weeks, they were up, like maybe before that. So I'm just trying to get to see how early I should start them, because I couldn't really remember last year. I remember they came up okay, like they did fine, and they did fine transplanting, because I put some seeds in a pot, in like a one of those window box pots, you know what I'm talking about? And then somebody said on YouTube that okra doesn't transplant well, and I was like, well, I just transplanted mine and they did great. So yes, I have 3 varieties of okra that I sowed this year. I have Star of David, the green Clemson, and the red burgundy. Yep. Yes, I have some nasturtium as well. I actually let some of the volunteers. I was potting up some, or not potting, yeah, potting up because I just used a pot and I put the seeds in and then I separate, put them in individual pots when they sprout. And I let them take some home. They couldn't believe that those are edible. I was like, do your research. Don't take my word for it. But they are. Just do your research about how to cook them and all that kind of thing. But so volunteers took some. I tried to let the volunteers, especially the ones that stay the whole time, I try to gift them with something before they leave. So um, I try if I can remember and get to them. But today was a very, very successful day. I've had a challenge with nasturtiums. Took them a while to germinate, but they are now coming home. Yeah, great, great. Um, and then the herbs are just slow. Gosh, if I could just, I don't know. Herbs are just getting on my nerves. Nasturtiums, yeah, I've never eaten them before, but that's what I heard too. They're kind of spicy. So it just depends on the crop, but every almost every week I'm starting something. Starting something. So like my lettuce seedlings, I start it just depends on the round. Like I want at least 3 or 4 rounds of that stuff because I sell them in 6 packs. So if I start like a 72 cell flat, I'll start like 4 or 5 flats, and then the next week I'll do another maybe 2, and then the next week I'll do 2 more, just so I can just keep having them because those will go fast because I sell them by the 6 pack. But if I'm doing like tomatoes, you know, maybe every 2 weeks. But really, I'm trying to decide if I should do just everything on a weekly basis. Because again, if I'm selling these and I want to have my own stock because I'm sewing everything on myself, I'm not buying starts and then reselling them unless they are grown by local growers. So I have 3 local growers that are helping me stock my nursery, but they're growing everything at home. Just not random people, but just typical people. I'm not buying them from like a plant broker because I really wanted to, people volunteer. Letitia, do you need help growing anything? Yeah, we can help me. And I gave them, if they wanted, I definitely gave them the seeds. But then if they needed like seed starting trays, flats, or soil, I gave those things to them as well. And they grow for me for free. They don't charge me, but I give them everything they need to do it. So everything that is grown in the nursery has been grown by me in the community. I do not purchase from a plant broker, at least not yet. So, I mean, of course, when we expand, then I may, but I'm really trying to grow varieties that you don't typically see in the store. And some of those rare, mostly rare heirloom hybrid varieties that you can't go buy at Lowe's or Home Depot or, so, yeah. And it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, but I feel like if I can do most of the work myself, I can save some money that way as well. And with some of the help from people in the community. Hey, VA. Hey, FR. What's going on? Good to see you. Where's the best place that you get your seeds starting trays? On Amazon. Yep, Amazon. And then I use stuff around the house. Aluminum foil tins. You can go to Dollar Tree and rack up on those. They're cheaper than the seed starting trays. Aluminum foil tins. Yeah, I don't have a lot of those around right now, because I really wanted it. But I'm this year, because it's my first year opening this nursery, I'm trying some things out, right? So like I was buying nursery pots. That gets expensive when I can go and buy 20 or 50 solo cups that cost me less than a quarter of what I spent on the nursery pots. You know what I'm saying? Like, do I want to appear like I'm this commercial nursery, or does it even matter? People want the plants. What are they going to do with the pots? They're going to throw them in the trash. They're going to break them. They're going to, I don't think people care what they grow in, as long as they are nice, healthy plants and they purchase them for a reasonable price. So I have most of my nursery, after all those cups were gone, or the nursery pots, I used red Solo cups. So, you know, the seed starting trays, I bought a bunch of those black seed starting trays with holes, without holes, depending on what I'm doing. But do I really need to do that? I don't think you have to. You can use cardboard boxes. You can use the tops that come on the boxes, aluminum foil trays. It just depends on what you want. I don't think people really care. I really don't. And then you're spending a bunch of money and you don't have to. I was like, I'm trying to make up my mind about some stuff. Like, I probably won't allow myself to purchase a lot of stuff that I purchased this year, thinking that I should do it because I'm going to be a nursery. I don't know. I'm still making my mind up, but I don't really feel like people care what the plants come in. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Okay, everybody's saying what's up. No, I have not. Not like particularly. So I will do that for y'all so y'all can see what's going on. It's just jam packed. I've moved all my brassica. Miss Angela said, "Have you done a video on your nursery?" So I've moved pretty much all my brassicas and herbs out, unless the herbs are like basil. But what's occupying the nursery now is all of my warm weather crops. So tomatoes, peppers, zooks, basil, thyme, just warm weather stuff. Old milk jugs work too. Anything can be used to start seeds. Yes, ma'am. I winter sow all the time. I love that concept. We did a few containers this year, and they've just started sprouting. So yes. But as far as selling to the public, when people come and pick up their pots or their plants, I don't really think they're going to care if it's in a black nursery pot or red Solo cup. I think they just want healthy plants. And they want to support you. So, yeah. I don't think you have to have all these fancy things going on. But I'll do a video of the nursery so y'all can see the greenhouse and everything that's growing. I'm trying to get somewhat organized. Like, I don't have enough tables. So I've turned over crates. I have, like, somebody dropped off some sawhorses. They donated them to the farm. And I put a pallet on top of that. So, like, I would love for it to look a little bit more uniform. But again, I don't think people care. And I need to not care so much. And it costs money trying to buy things and all, I just don't, as long as it's growing, and it's getting fed and it's getting water, I don't think it matters what things look like. I may have the nursery open once a month for people to actually roam, because my business is on my residential property. I kind of want to keep some sense of privacy. But as far as people picking up their plants and things and paying, everything is pre-order. So they can pre-order online, or they can email me their order and I can fill it that way. And then it's kind of like a curbside pickup kind of thing. So that way I don't have a lot of people walking around touching everything, and keeping the social distancing. COVID is still here. I am not vaccinated. And I don't really care if you are vaccinated. That doesn't make me feel better. People say it all the time, but it doesn't make me feel better that you're vaccinated. I I'm glad that you're vaccinated, but to still be around me and then try not to wear a mask or whatever, try to hug me. Oh, I got my second vac. Okay, that's great, but don't touch me. That's just me. I'm not vaccinated. My baby's not vaccinated. My little big girl farmer is not vaccinated, right? Dad is. He works outside the home now, so he made that choice, but it's still here. So I kind of want to keep things under wraps, especially I'm about to have this newborn. Yeah, I know that. And so I'm still mommy bear cautious about everything right now. And I probably will be for the next year or so. Like, I don't know. But anyway, um, the aesthetics aren't a big deal. Thank you, VA. I really, everything is labeled. As long as everything got the label and it is what it says it is, and it looks like a good plant to sell, I'm just gonna go off of that and be fine. So I'm growing a lot of plants this year. Next year, I think I'm gonna do pre-orders early, so that way I can like just grow some stuff just to be growing it, but I can just meet the need. Like people say, hey, I know I'm gonna want these crops when it's time to plant. Can you go on and get those together? Yes. So I know everything already has a home and it's going out, right? So not doing a whole lot of, and I still will do some, but maybe switching it up a little bit and not just growing, hoping that everything sells. But I know that everything has a home, or most things have a home before I grow them. So I know, and you feel the pressure both ways, right? You hope everything works out if you grow for somebody that's already placed the order. So you hope that they can get what they ordered, but then you also hope that you just have all these plants and they all sell, right? They all you sell out and don't have any more. And you're just hoping and wishing that people come by, So I don't know. I'm still thinking things out. This is my first year, so we'll see. We'll see how things go. But so far, so good. I don't feel anxious about it. The only thing I feel anxious about is the weather. And a little bit about not necessarily my ability to grow, but to make sure that I have enough. Yeah. Like I can give people mostly what they want. But I'm ready to just go for it. That's why I'm doing it. So I'm just gonna go for it and see what happens, and then tweak it if I need to tweak stuff. It's okay. Thank you, FR. Oh, thank you so much, Purpose Gardens. Yes, I really feel like this year has been great. I mean, and believe it or not, I've planned some stuff, but not really. I'm not being consumed by ultra, like, obsessive about planning everything, right? That gets me in trouble every single time. And I feel like I'm starting to learn that. Like, just pump your brakes, Tisha, and just enjoy the journey, Thank you, Roslyn. Hi, Roslyn. Thank you so much. So, yeah, everything is okay. It'll be okay. But I'm so grateful for the support of the community, man. It's been incredible. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Yep. So, another thing is, so y'all know, like back last fall, right before the fall, in July, August, I was pursuing the purchase of a 10-acre farm, and that didn't work out. But I just found out that they're going to have an auction soon, and they plan to auction off everything that they have, I guess. And so they still have like a lot of nursery things and farming equipment. And so I'm excited about that. If it happens, I'm trying to save my pennies for that too, and just rent a small U-Haul truck or something to take with me, so I can kind of see what I can snag there. And then we got word from the through the grapevine that there may be another farm nursery for sale here in urban Louisville, Kentucky. Um and it's 5 acres. So I'm not getting my hopes up about anything, but it's a possibility that we could pursue that. But I haven't stopped looking for land since the 10-acre farm became unavailable to us. So I'm still in and narrowing things down and trying to figure out plans and things like that. So the game ain't changed. We just didn't get that property, so it's back at the drawing board basically, but that's okay. Mm-hmm. Thank you. I hope so too. Do you have a formula that you use, like how many of which plant to start, or how did you figure it out? Do you have a formula that you use, like how many of which plant to start? How many of which plant to start? No, I think when people pre-order, like I'm a part of an organization called the Urban Ag Coalition. They do free plants giveaways for the past couple of years, but they asked me to grow for them. They just told me how many plants they want. We need 2,000 plants. They wanted 4,000, but I said, let me do 2, and then you'll probably get 4. Right? But I just want to commit to 2,000. So and they were very like whatever. So they picked their crops, and I said, well, when I sent them the invoice, it was like 400 of these plants, 400 of those plants, 600 of those, and so the more, I think the 400, 600, if I did 6, I don't think I did. I think I did 400, 200. But the 400 plants are like brassicas. So like the lettuces, the kales, stuff that you can so they're little bitty seeds, right? So you'll probably get more than 2 seeds in a sale that germinate. And so I know that, and then I counted how many flats that would be, right? If I have 72 sales and I'm banking on 2 plants per sale, that's 144 plants. And then I did that times, whatever, or divided by 400 to see how many sales I actually need of that crop. So I guess that's somewhat of a formula, just simple math, because I'm not very smart. And if they say they want more, I try every time I sow in a cup or a cell or a flat, I try to put at least 2 or 3 seeds in each cell, cup, or flat. So if I have 20 cups filled, then I know I at least have 20 plants. Because some of those seeds may germinate, they may not. Right? Now, for the crops that are not pre-ordered, and I'm just like, how many do I want available? I plant pretty much what I got. So depending on the crop, like Aunt German green tomatoes, well, I may only have had 10 seeds. I planted all of them. Maybe only 7 come up. Well, that's all I got. And so they're available until while supplies last, is what I put on. If you go to my website, bearfruitandgrow.com, BEAR, bearfruitandgrow.com, you'll see I just posted today the sneak peek of the nursery items that are going to be available, the plants. And so I may, Amish paste tomatoes, I may have 20, 50, 60 of those planted because that's just what I had in my stock. It just depends. Red cherry tomatoes, I have about 60 of those plants. Black cherry, probably more than that. Partly because I need to grow for me too. So I'll probably plant about 20 of those myself. But then I may have 50 available for the community. So it just depends. And then I'm still reseeding stuff. So or planting more. I don't really have a. Does that make sense? I mean, I guess there's a difference, is what I'm trying to say. If somebody pre-orders and tells you how many they want, then I know that I need to plant. If they say they want 400 kale plants, I'm going to plant 800 to, what's 8 times 3? 240? 8 times 3? 8 times 3 is 24, right? What's 8 times 3? Y'all get what I'm saying? I'm gonna plant double. If the collard seeds are small, kale seeds are small, lettuce seeds are small, right? So I'm just gonna drop them. Whatever comes up comes up. But most of the time, I have more than one plant in each cell, so I know that I'm gonna, at least hit the mark for that tray. Let's see. Like Miss Angela said, 500 seedlings of corn, 500 of squash, or whatever kind of plant you plant. Yeah, like if I have 500 seeds, if I don't have that, or if I need more, I'll go buy more. But some of these, because I'm planting mostly rare varieties, I may not plant that many of the rare varieties. Do you know how much 500 seeds of, mortgage lifter or whatever rare varieties are out there, that you want to plant? The purple pepper, that would cost a significant amount of money to purchase 500 purple pepper seeds. And so I guess it just depends on your budget too, your seed money, whatever you have to invest in your nursery. But I'm starting small. I got to start somewhere, so I do what I can. Yeah, I do what I can. Okay, the brassicas, yes, you need hundreds and hundreds of those. Thank you, Miss Angela. Will you plan to sell the produce? I do plan to sell some, yes, and most of that is by word of mouth and my neighbors and friends. I've been asked to kind of jumpstart the farmers market here in our city. And if we do decide to, by we, I mean there's another guy that's going to help me manage it, and he's also the managers for the community garden that we're revitalizing, and we did get the grant. We got a grant to revitalize the community garden, so I'm excited about that. It's $1,000 grant to do that, and we got it. So, but if we do, I think we'll open August through October this year, and then next year we'll shoot for May, opening in May. But I'm not in a rush to kind of get into that with this new baby and trying to figure my life out. Once she comes, I'm not, but I do plan to sell. Yes, my business is an LLC, for profit. It's not a nonprofit organization. So I do want to make some profit, but I would also like to be on shelves of stores and not necessarily Kroger or, some big chain store. But the mom and pop or independent stores, like we have community grocery stores here and other things that have been started out of the Black Lives Matter movement when all that happened with George Floyd, and here Breonna Taylor. Kroger and some other stores shut down during that, and in food deserts anyway, and food apartheid, heavily apartheid areas in our city. And so these people are like, okay, y'all not gonna feed us, we'll feed ourselves. So they opened stores and started all these initiatives to feed the community. And so I would love to be able to provide produce to those areas too. So it's not necessarily like I would love to get on the shelf at Kroger, but that's not really what I want to do. I want to send my stuff where it's needed. Yeah. Um, Thank you for confirming that, Bibi. 8 times 3. Ah. Yeah. So we'll have a little farm stand. This will be my first time actually participating in a farmer's market. I've been a vendor before in other aspects of my life, so it's not the first time there, but actually managing a farmer's market, learning how to um manage a community garden. This is a year of first for me. So, um thank you. Thank you so much. Um So we'll see how things go, but I've got to not take off or bite off more than I could chew. It's really easy to do that when you get passionate about something. Um, but I'm grateful for, I'm not the only one involved. So um, a small team helps. A small team helps. Um, I've been talking a lot about policy around agriculture lately, and I share with you all that our city is going through land development code reform. Um, they say in the name of racial equity, but that's not the case. I don't believe that at all. But anywho, we're working on some things. Um, so the urban agriculture is in writing um, allowed, basically. And we have some more policy around that. And then accessing land is very, very important to me for growers and farmers, whether you want to rent or own. But a lot of people, we want to own our stuff, right? And so we're trying to finagle through bureaucracy to make that happen for a lot of people. And there's great progress. But here lately, the discussion has been around land trust. So it's possible that I can be a part of starting a land trust for communities in our city as well, or helping other people start a trust in whatever way they want for whatever they want, not just around agriculture, but around other things. So I'm excited, y'all. Just a lot of things going on. And I'll share more about that later. If you've never learned or didn't know about land trust, I'm learning too. But it's an option. It's an option. Um, it's not appropriate for everyone, but it's an option. When we talk about wealth building and ownership and autonomy and keeping things the way you want them to be, so um, securing assets for your family, for future generations, things like that. So a land trust may be an option to kind of, you know, look at. So a lot, y'all. A lot going on. A lot going on. Um, but yeah, so I just check out that picture, y'all, if y'all can, on the community tab of the channel of the peach tree, and let me know what y'all think about that. I will be doing a giveaway soon. I'm not. I said I was going to do like a seed thing, but I don't know. People like to receive seeds, but I don't know. I may put some other things, like do like a little package, again, just to show my appreciation to all the supporters. We did hit over 1,000 supporters a couple weeks ago, and so I just want to just give back some way, form, or fashion, and let y'all know that I do love y'all, and I think about y'all. I really do, and I'm just so grateful for y'all's support. I think if the bees can get to it, but possibly next year. Okay, so you looked at the picture. Okay. Yeah, and there's been bees floating around, wasps. So I don't know. Maybe they did get to it. I don't know. I didn't try to pollinate it. So thank you, FR. Um, but I don't know. I don't know. It's my first year. So it'll be exciting. It'll be exciting if it happens. But I'm just trying to understand these trees' behavior. How they behave. Mm-hmm. Yep. So what else is going on, y'all? Any other questions that you have? Anything? What else is going on in y'all's gardens? Are people starting to plant out peppers and tomatoes and things in zones 0 through 8 yet? Because there's been some people in zone 7 and 6B that said they already planting out peppers and tomatoes. I said, oh my goodness. I don't know. That scares me. I guess if you have a plan on how to protect them once the frost comes, because we're gonna get next week. There's like 2 or 3 days. We're gonna get temperatures at night in the 30s. So gotta be careful. Gotta be careful. Even in the greenhouse. My greenhouse is unheated. So I worry. I do worry a little bit, but so far so good. Everything's been okay. I'm having to start most of all my stuff over again. I know, VA, right? I was just telling the people earlier that I had a whole flat of collards just die. Don't know what happened. They just gave up the ghost. So, yep. Hey, UT. Did somebody say peppers and tomatoes? UT appears in a cloud of smoke. I know. That's so funny. Yes. But people setting them out already and putting them in the ground. I don't know if that's a good idea for zone 7 and below. Maybe for 8, 9, 10, but not 7 and below. Not yet. Unless you have a plan, like I said, to protect them. I'm in zone 6 and I've planted seeds, but no live plants. Yeah. Zone 7B, peppers, tomatoes, squash, fruit trees, some reseeding. You've planted those out purpose gardens? I'm in 8 and I'm waiting. You are? Yeah, I just want I've sowed, your brassica, the cold weather crops. So, or cold crops. Like your brassicas, your broccoli, cauliflower, lettuces, kale, spinach. Like I planted those things. But my tomatoes and peppers and stuff, ooh, I don't know if I'm ready to put them in the ground. Because then I got to scurry like I did last year. We got that late frost in May, and I had to scurry and protect them for a couple of nights. Oh, that was just devastating. It was so scary. This frost came way like mid May. It was crazy. Yeah, I remember that. Y'all remember that frost last year? Yep. Move arrow. Last frost date was 4/15. Yeah, I saw. Yeah, it is 4/15 according to the farmers. But y'all remember the farmers almanac is a projected date. Okay, remember that. They project that our last frost would be the 15th. So late cold snap last year. I don't want to replant. Plus, we have a long growing season. Okay, had tomatoes until mid-November. Yes, we literally had no sun for 2 weeks until today. Oh my, but still cool. And have 3 beefsteak, 3 eggplant, 3 Roma from store-bought food. Poor babies, bless their hearts. But that's a good start on your season. But you're a little nervous. That's okay to be nervous. I'm nervous too. My onion starts are out and doing okay. Yep, got them from Dixondale, the onion capital. Garlic stays outside. Yes, as I plant them in the fall. Yes, ma'am. I'm in a 7A. I'm waiting about 2 weeks after the last frost date. It's still too cold, in my opinion. It is. It's cold, VA. Yeah, I'm in 7A as well. And like I said, next week they're projecting the weather It's gonna be in the 30s like 2 or 3 days next week at night. Here, y'all know the Kentucky, the Kentucky Derby is a big thing, right? And so most of the farmers, gardeners, growers here always says, don't put your stuff out until after Derby. So, you know, and I don't really pay attention to that. Maybe I should, but I definitely won't be putting. I don't ever put tomatoes and peppers out in April. I always wait till May. Yep. But that's just for my zone. Again, it depends on what zone you're in. It really does. Or your infrastructure, right? So if you have infrastructure that allows you to do that early, then you good. You good. I do use row covers on chilly nights. Yeah. Yeah. So, like I said, if you have the infrastructure, go for it. I'm still working on my infrastructure. We got a lot done this year though, and I'm excited. A lot of stuff I'm trying new, like row covers. I've never used those before, so I'm hoping that comes in handy when trying to grow all these greens and that daggone cabbage moth. Y'all know that white butterfly, right? Yeah, that lays those eggs. Those little worms be eating up all of our stuff. So I'm trying on that. And then I think I'm going to attempt one more time this year to grow squash, because I haven't been successful doing that but 1 year. The first year I ever started a garden, I grew zucchini and squash just fine. After that, it's like everybody, all the insects knew that I was growing and they came to attack. So specifically the squash bug and that squash vine borer. So I'm going to try with the row covers this year. And if it don't work out anymore, I'm not going to spend my time doing it. It's just a waste of time. Yep. Zone 7A here in Maryland. Also, too early for tomatoes in the ground. Nothing till mid or late May. I hear you. I started indoors end of February. Early March, have to get a grow light. Well, baby, yeah, you need to get a grow light. Or use a south facing window. I just gave away one grow light, and I might do that again. Might do it again. I don't know. Yeah, and I'm just FR. I'm in that place right now where it's like sugar snap peas are the other crop. Like I think I'm done growing sugar snaps for the pods. I will grow them for the shoots. But I don't think I want to. It's another crop that I just don't have success in growing very well. I don't know why. I just don't. Aphids are everywhere all the time. And I know if you are attracting that many aphids, that means the soil is high in nitrogen. So the aphids are attracted to high nitrogenized areas. And but I'm just like, and they're the most mysterious insect ever. So aphids just be getting me on the peas. I don't know. I don't know about it. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time growing stuff that I continue to have. Like I've tried more than 5 times to grow, and I'm just not going to take the time. Yeah, the squash bug is the worst. The borer, oh, it's the worst. And I've even repaired plants. I've gotten the borer out and then tried to repair the plant. It's just this year's my last year trying, and if I can't figure it out, I'm done, because there's a ton of other things I can do. So I'm not gonna spend time beating myself up like that. I definitely want zucchini. I was using tape to pull off eggs, cut the worms out of one and put it together, but it never fully recovered. Yeah, it's hard sometimes. So I'll just leave that to another farmer that does it well, and I'll go work out a deal with them. When I start, because I want to eventually start to offer a farm share. So people, I'm kind of dabbing my toe in that. The past couple of years I've been dabbing my toe, but have something that's organized, like a CSA, community supported agriculture. But I don't think I'm gonna call mine that. Um, I'll probably give it some fancy name, but it's basically what it is, a farm share. So people pay for a box of food on a regular basis, prepay um, for a share of the farm crops. Mm-hmm. That is just too much work for 2 to 3 zucchini per plant. I know. I know. And so you know who really got growing down zucchini and squash is Essie. And I haven't watched much of her channel this year. Um, I need to see how things are going on her homestead, but that woman can grow some zucchini and squash and big zucchini squash. But she uses a lot of black cow manure and other things, but she does a great job. Those plants be huge, honey. I'm pretty sure she put a little bit of crack in there or something, because those plants and fruits be huge. Using netting may work and have and had pollination for the yep. And that's the other thing you have to think about, baby. Thanks for bringing that up. If you use netting on anything, you got to think about, well, is the fruit going to get pollinated, or the flower is going to get pollinated? So yeah, I would have to hand pollinate a lot of that stuff. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. And no, I don't use a paintbrush or a toothbrush, a vibrating toothbrush to pollinate tomato plant. I don't do none of that. Use your finger. I shake the tomato plants like that. Just give them a shake, y'all. You don't have to overthink. I mean, you can do what you do, but you don't have to. Some people use Q-tips to pollinate. I'm like, take that flower off, peel the petals off, and then rub it in there. Like, you don't have to have all this extra stuff. Because really, what it does for me is accumulate trash, or in the garden, number one, or I'll lose the paintbrush. So I'm like, I'm not doing that. That's just me. That's just me. But you're right. You should consider that if you use netting on those plants that have to be pollinated, then you should definitely come up with a plan to pollinate. That is such a good point. Um, yeah, all you gotta do is give it a little tap. Little big girl farmer said, give it a tickle. Give it a little tickle, and she'll go. You know, she just loves to pollinate tomatoes. So it's not hard. If a 5-year-old can do it, and she was 2 years old when we started teaching her how to garden, when I started teaching her, you can do it. It's not hard. You ate the stem of what? Did I miss something? The zucchini? You ate the stem of the zucchini? Yeah. Yeah, that's why the stem, I wouldn't eat the stem, but the flowers are edible. You're right. Little big girl farmer, the tomato whisperer, right? She loves to pollinate and she loves to harvest and eat. We don't even get in the house sometimes. She didn't took everything and ate it. Yep. Yep. Yeah, that's what she does. But I'm just so happy. But you know what? She I think she ate vegetables and stuff before, but she definitely eats more of them during the growing season. Because she's able, I think it's because she's able to be a part of the process. She understands, and they taste better. She'll tell you in a heartbeat the tomatoes from the store don't taste like tomatoes she grows in her garden. You know? So, yep. Matter of fact, she really has a hard time eating a store-bought tomato. She's like, bleh, bleh. She does it all the time. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. Well, you all, it's been real. It's so much fun hanging out with you. Check out that picture again on the community tab of the peach tree and let me know what you all think. And I'm gonna hop off of here and probably lay down after I go to the potty and just have a good, just chill out. I worked hard today from 10 to 2 with these volunteers, so I'm pooped. But we got a lot done, and so yeah. But it's been real, y'all. I want y'all to tell me. Well, I'll say that for another video because there's a something I kind of want to run past y'all just to get ideas. And so I'll leave that for another video. But till next time, I love y'all. Thank you so much for hanging out. And let's see, hold on. My peach tree looks the same, so I'm hoping I get fruit. Okay. Well, maybe, yeah, the blooms are there. Now they're not. They all fell off. And it wasn't because of the frost, because I did cover them and put them in the shed when the frost came. So I know it's not because the frost killed them, but that's just what they look like, I think. And so hopefully we will have fruit together, VA. I'm excited that you're growing as well. But thank you all so much. Yes, you have a blessed day too, and a great evening as well. It was so good to see y'all, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.